Okay guys, I totally forgot when I made this video to do the intro. So I'm going to do it this way. The rest of it is not voiceover. What I did here was I used some leftover cabbage I had from some cabbage rolls and created a meal. It is one of my quick and easies on pork chops. So let's get it, let's go. Let's heat up the pots. Come on. Here's everything you're going to need for this quick and easy dinner. And I tell you, it is quick and easy, even without using some leftovers. This is so simple. I had some cabbage rolls that I ran out of meat for, so I took the steamed cabbage, and we're going to utilize that for our side dish tonight. I got some thin cut pork chops, nice and thin. They'll cook in a flash. I got some sweet potatoes and yams that we're going to cook up. We're just going to cook them with a little bit of sweetness on them, some stuffing, and some gravy to go on top. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this meal. Depending on how hungry everybody is for the cabbage, I may throw in one of these small ham steaks or one or two of the pork chops. I haven't decided yet. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all these pieces of cabbage that we have left over. Ooh, that smells good. If you know what I mean. Cabbage cooks down. So all I'm going to do is take the pieces that are still whole. You see they're still steamed down. And I'm just going to dice it up real quick. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these limp cabbage and I'm just kind of folding it up. And there's no uniformity, there's nothing. I'm just hacking it up into pieces. So that's it. So let me just finish the rest I have to do. It's very, very little. I only have that much left to go, and I'll be right back. I changed my mind. I am going to add the one piece of ham because this is how I make fried cabbage. I always have ham in it, and if I don't need all of those pork chops, I can always put the other one in the freezer. So, and this is already thawed out. So what I do is I just dice up the ham. It's a very, very small ham steak. Look at my hand on it. It's very small. And I just cube it up in like smallish kind of bite-sized pieces. Just like that. So let me dice that up and then we're ready to start cooking. We're already there. All done. Let's move over to the stove. First thing you're going to do is put a little bit of olive oil or oil in the pan. You're going to put the cabbage in there. And most of the work is already done, so we don't even have to wait for it to completely cook. Some of this might sound like, ew, what are you doing? Trust me, I have made this a million times, and every time somebody eats it, they say, what is it? I love it, because they don't know what's in it. So you're going to add some seasoned salt. I like a lot of seasoned salt in my cabbage. So you don't like a lot, don't put a lot. Because that's basically the only seasonings. These three things I'm going to use are the only things going in. This is pepper. Push that little ham steak in there. Okay, here's the part that might be ill. You know how when you make a ham, you put a glaze on it, and then you may or may not use that piece of ham in your cabbage if you're making it like this? Well, what I do, and this is not my idea, this is when I was married, my mother-in-law would do this. She takes a little bit of, for the background, can't get it open, a little bit of the maple syrup or pancake syrup for that matter. You just pour some down over top of it. And you could add just a pinch of paprika if you want. But that's what's going in this. And now we're just gonna let it cook down and let it soften up, let the meat cook, and that is it. Now it would take much longer if I was cooking it from scratch. I would have just did the cabbage, wait for the cabbage to come along. But since I don't have it, there goes my phone. I forgot to silence it. All right, so let's get on to the next thing. These will continue to cook while we're doing the other stuff. Okay, it's cooking down quite a bit. Now you see all the liquid that was released? A lot of times I'll just pour that off so that syrup that you saw go in isn't like, it doesn't, you don't even taste the syrup. I don't know how to explain what it does, but it does something. So once it cooks down a little bit farther, I'll pour it off and it's done. That's one side down and one to go. All right, so that's what it looks like right there. I poured off all that liquid that you might think was yucky, yucky, yucky. And I'm gonna put this in something smaller so I could use this pot for something else. And I'm gonna move on to the next. For the yams, and I'm not making a lot because we have quite a bit. We have some leftovers from last night the kids want to use. There's a little bit of mashed potatoes left over, so some want this, some want the mashed potatoes. We're gonna put that in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna heat them up and we're gonna put a little bit of butter and cinnamon in it, and that's it. So I'm gonna put a plop of butter in there and some cinnamon. If I had some marshmallows or fluff or something, I would put it on there, but I don't. So we're gonna make these more like mashed potato consistency. So just gotta let that cook down a little bit. I'm just gonna break it up with my wooden spoon. So I don't know where my potato masher got to. So just gonna keep letting it cook down. All right, so that's all smashed up like mashed potatoes. It's got, I didn't even put any salt in it. I put pepper, butter, and cinnamon. I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, what did I put in here? That's ready. All we gotta do now is brown up the meat. I wanted to get all this done because the meat is so thin, it's gonna take minutes to cook, and I didn't want it to sit and dry out while we wait on everything else. The sides, we can always just turn them back on and warm them back up if they cool down. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make the stuffing for the side, or for what goes on top. The stuffing is just add water. There's really nothing else to see, so I'm not gonna show you that. I just tasted it. It does need salt. Just a pinch. That's all it's gonna need. I have salt in my hands, so I'm having a hard time stirring it. See how that is before I get rid of the salt. Oh, I got a piece of cabbage. Yeah, that's what it needed. It just needed a pinch of salt in there. Okay, onward, forward. You know what I forgot? When you make yams, you put brown sugar and cinnamon. I didn't put any on there, so I'm literally using my hand. I just poured it in there. I'm gonna put a pinch, a big old pinch. I kept thinking it was missing something. I'm like, what is this thing missing? Oh, my stove is dirty. So that's it. Now we're on to the pork chops. Now I have more pork chops than this. I'm just showing you on these. They are extremely thin. That's why I did these dead last, because I don't want them sitting there waiting and getting cold and tough. I'm just gonna season them with some pepper on both sides, but just now I'm showing you the one side. My favorite, the seasoned salt, but not a lot because I have it in the other stuff. Some garlic powder, onion. Do it from this way. I was missing that whole end over there. Some garlic. and some paprika. And now I'm just going to heat up the pan, and when the pan's nice and warm, I'm going to throw this in there, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I have warmed up the gravy and the stuffing, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil at the bottom of the pan. I was waiting for it to get hot. And then we're just going to brown them up. I know it seems like I'm doing nothing, but there is something coming. Turn that down just a little bit. When I tell you this dish is easy, I truly mean it. Now, a lot of times I would just make this in the pan from beginning to end, but because I'm making a lot of them, it's just easier to go to the oven, but you can do this right here. So I'm just going to season that side up. Let me go do that. Alrighty, we're going to flip those over. And right before they're done, I take them out and give them a real good searing. And that's where we're at with that. Just another 3 minutes on that side, and we'll be moving on to the next step. So I warmed up the gravy in the microwave. This is turkey gravy. I would have preferred pork, but I'm just going to put a little bit on the bottom because I'm going to put more. This is where the I'm going to lay down the stuffing on top. So I don't want to put it on just all of it just yet. Just where I'm putting the stuffing. So then I'm going to take either an ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop, whichever one you want. You just, here, this is a cookie scooper. Just boom, right on top. And boom. Right on top. And then you're going to take a little bit more gravy and you're going to pour it over top. I'm going to give that a minute because I want to finish these first before I put the gravy on. Let me put the rest on. Okay, so I got all the scoops out. I just went with the cookie scoop. I put the ice cream scoop, but it was just way too much. So what you do now is I'm going to take some more of this gravy and I'm just going to drizzle it on top. And then you put it under the broiler just to crisp it up a little bit, the breadcrumbs and whatnot. And when I tell you, I haven't made this in, I can't even tell you the last time I made this, because usually my kids like their pork chops breaded and that's how I make them. As a matter of fact, as I was making it, Eric said, "What's up with the pork chops?" I said, "Nothing, they're just thin." He goes, "But where's the breading?" So I said, "Oh, don't worry, son. It's going on top." They're used to having breaded pork chops. That's the way they like them. That's the way I make them. All right, so we're going to put that under the broiler, and then it's going to be eating time. This one back here is Eric's. In the oven she goes. And they are done. Let me plate that up, but first I'm going to bring you down for a closer look. Look how yummy. It's nice, and it doesn't really translate, but this is crisped up. All right, I'm going to meet you at the table. And there's my plate. I'm going to meet you at the table. Eric, you confused me. That was funny.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
We're at the table. We're going to go right in. Go. I cut a piece off mine. Did you cut a piece?
Yes.
Okay, good. It probably could use a little bit more gravy on it, but we got the table and forgot to put the extra drizzle, so we'll be okay. Ready? Let's go. Nice and tender. That's really good. Mm-hmm. Try. Eric's got a really small plate because he wants some of the leftovers from last night. So he wanted to eat this and that. So let's go in for the cabbage. I got a little bit of apple cider vinegar over here because I like that on mine. Ready? Oh, you're already going.
Oh,
Mmm.
it's really good.
I love cabbage. And like I said, that pancake syrup, you really don't taste it. It's just,
Pancake syrup in here?
yeah,
I ain't even taking it.
yeah. See? What'd you think about the yams?
Really good.
Pretty good, right? And I got some cranberry sauce because what's this kind of a meal without some cranberry sauce?
My favorite
He didn't get
part.
his yet, but he's getting it.
My favorite part has to be the pork chops. It's really good.
What?
My favorite part is the pork chops.
Really? Are you just teasing me?
I'm being serious. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
He always plays this joke. He says, Grandma, you know what this would make this better? And I'll go, what? He'll go, no meat. That's why I thought he was teasing me. Do you really like it?
It's really good.
All right. He does like me. He just doesn't like to chew it. All right. Well, let me give everybody, every time I get to that part, let me get everybody else fed, and we'll see what they think at the wrap-up. Bye-bye. Well, dinner's over. There's nothing left. I had to put up 3 plates because they're not here to eat, but even with just making their plates, there's nothing left but a tiny bit of stuffing, which Yasmin is eating out of the pot as I speak. So let's see who's here, what they thought. Trey ate his and went to work. He did like it. He said it was pretty good. He liked it with the stuffing on top, but he does prefer it breaded, but he did like it. So let's see who's by me. Tyler, what did you think about tonight's dinner?
Really good and loved it, and it was awesome.
Wow, I got 3, yay. Eric, what did you think about dinner?
It was amazing.
He said amazing. How many pieces did you have, Eric?
3.
He had 3 of them. I'm really turning this boy around on that meat. Who's next? Aiden, what did you think?
Amazing.
Amazing. And Yaya, the last but not least, who's here, what did you think about dinner tonight?
Absolutely delicious.
Absolutely delicious. I believe it because she's over there picking out of the pot. All right. Well, there you have it. It was a quick and an easy dinner with the pork chop. It's 1, 2, 3. You're done. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. And leave me a comment either way. See you later. Bye.